Cool. Okay, it is. I don't see me, but I know we good. All right. It is Super Tuesday, November 6, 2018. Big election day. It's good to be here on the Future Award-winning Beer and a Conversation show. The number one and leading show for comprehensive barbershop talk. I got some of the oldies and some newbies here with me today. Pete, good to see you again.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. My man Langston.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
You will soon get acquainted with him. And we've got EC in the building. DJ KP, Rashid, and some other guests. Young Slick here. So, at any rate, that was kind of a throwback. I was a big Simpsons guy growing up. I love the Simpsons. A lot of people did. And I just couldn't help it. I figured I'd lead off with that, especially considering that it kind of fits with the whole beer and a conversation theme when you think about Barney at Moe's or whatever. First thing we need to do, first order of business, is we want to give due respect to and honor the sponsor of the show today, Luxor Lounge and Bistro in Lithonia, Georgia, 6967 Main Street. They're open daily. Good place to come. Beer, drinks, and food specials. Thursday night, Steelers, Panthers. Big game. I'll be there. Feel free to come and see me. It's going to be a great day. But thanks again to Luxor Bistro and Lounge. So we got an interesting show tonight. Bunch of different things going on. Obviously, we're going to talk about the election, cover the election, epic collection from gubernatorial races, as well as the congressional and a whole lot of other things. I see something on the ballot earlier about Georgia being able to sell liquor at 11 a.m.
Yeah, it was the last thing you could vote for, and I think everybody here hopefully voted yes. I don't see why not.
Right. Yeah. Right, exactly. So, anywho, we won't get into who voted for who, but I did vote, and I'm representing the state of Georgia here with my jacket today, and also Morehouse, and that's important because we got a candidate who is Spelman alum. So, nonetheless, moving right along. Oh, something else. McDonald's brought back the McRib, and I know how y'all niggas are about them rib sandwiches. So they just brought back the McRib, and
Is it real meat?
probably. No, I don't think any of the meat there is real. But I seen they advertise.
Well, the nuggets are 100% chicken now, so.
Yeah, but it could be chicken
Maybe.
eyes scrambled around. You don't know exactly.
Well, at
what
least they're letting
part.
us know that it's 100% chicken, though.
Who told you that? McDonald's?
Yeah.
Beware.
So, at any rate, when I seen the commercials, I just want to let everybody, the McRib is back, just in case you were waiting on it to come back. So, all right. So, moving on along, it's a lot of stuff that's happened the past week, man. One of the viewers had introduced me to a Diamond and Silk. I didn't even know about these ladies. They kind of look like Baps. We'll play a clip down the road, but they're really big Trump supporters. And I kind of thought it was fitting, considering that this is an election night and there's kind of an election theme going on. And also this past week, we get into the main topic a little later on, I had went to Chipotle to get my daughter something to eat. And I just seen kind of an onslaught, a slew of spandex pants wearing individuals there. And so that's kind of what was the motivation behind what we're going to get into. But nonetheless, let's just take it for what it is here. What do you think about this election, Langston? How do you feel? What do you think is going to happen?
I think this one is. Is a critical one. It's a different election. It kind of reminds me of 2008 with Obama and all of the excitement, especially surrounding Stacey Abrams and black people. We've seen waves of black people come out and vote, similar, on par with what we saw with Obama in 2008. So it's interesting to see how it's going to turn out. Some of my male friends, we were texting back and forth earlier today, and I reminded them. I said, "Look, Georgia is 60% white, all right, and about 31% black. She would need at least 21% of non-white or non-black votes to win this.
Right.
Right. and I'm skeptical. I'm hopeful. I'm still skeptical because we've seen what happened with Trump. All right, a lot of people thought that Hillary had that in the bag. If you listen to all the pundits and all the propaganda and everything leading up to that election, you thought that Hillary had that in the bag. And what we saw was 52% of white women voted for Trump. All right, 52% of white women voted for Trump. So anytime I get into a discussion, particularly with a proclaimed feminist, I remind them of that. Okay, you had the ability to put the first female president in office, and you still voted for Trump.
Yeah, I was at lunch today, and I heard a woman say, as I was in passing, that, I voted this, that, and the other, and he's like, I want to keep my guns. And so that kind of just, I don't know what kind of rhetoric people are spewing these days, to where somebody has somehow made them believe that any candidate is going to have the power to overturn the Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights. But go ahead, Pete. What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I'm not, big into politics and stuff. Obviously, I voted today too. What I will say is this: I think that she's going to win personally, not just because of how everybody's doing the projections. I don't know. It just seems like there's about to be a change, at least from that perspective, in terms of it being a Democratic governor as opposed to a Republican one. And I just think that the thing, if anything, even if you don't know policies, because most people really don't know anyways, for the most part. At least I'd like to think that most people don't know. And most people really don't care, too. But what I will say is that Brian, if there's anything that we could take away from him, is that obviously he went to the school of Trump and was basically going to base his whole campaign on, just being basically just super duper out of pocket. Like, you know what I mean? Like with the commercials and the stuff, and him talking about rounding up Hispanics, and then him starting his car and saying, yes, I said that. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of stuff that just seemed like, well, I know that you didn't get elected to be the Secretary of State that way. And it just, for me at least, it felt like he wasn't being himself, and it was just more of a ploy for him to get all the Trump votes. And
right.
So
appealing to a base.
Right, as opposed to even really how he might even feel. Even if he does really feel that way, he wasn't doing it before to get elected.
Right. So okay, cool. It seems to me, and I looked at it kind of towards the end. I don't even watch the news anymore, KP. And I think we had talked about this. But it seems to me that this thing has turned into an Obama versus Trump election, actually. If you look at a lot of what you've been seeing, I mean, that's the way that they keep showing clips of Obama with Stacey Abrams and Donald Trump with. So I don't know. Even some of the people I've talked to see this election as a referendum on Donald Trump. I don't see it that way. I don't know how much will actually change if either gets elected. It just seems like it'll probably be a lot more infighting within the state and then nationally. So we'll kind of see what happens with regard to that. What are you thinking, EC? We got you on camera and got you on mic. How you feel about the election? Hey, can I get a round of applause for EC, please? Do we have like a digital round of applause?
Sound effect.
I felt like this was almost like a Super Bowl. It was hyped like that, you know what I mean? It's the same old for me. But I can't believe that I'm going to say I agree with you.
Well, oh, okay.
No, it was on.
We good? Okay, all right.
But I have to say that I agree with you.
Me and Erica don't do too much of that.
Right, so that's pretty big.
Cool. All right, what do you think, KP? You got any feelings about this?
Let's hope to see her give us one of these too. But.
Well, we'll see when the results come in, whether that's tonight or sometime tomorrow morning or tomorrow. But I do think that in a lot of ways, this, a lot of the elections that's going on across the country in various states will reflect on what the current president is doing and have been doing. I was watching something on the news earlier today. I believe it was CNN, and they were out and about, interviewing some of the voters, and most of them across the board, when they asked the question, what is it that what pulled you out to vote today? And they were saying they want to see a change. They want to see decency. Wasn't even really about policies. They want to see decency. So, of course, that's something that's been kind of lacking on the national level in politics. So I think that alone may give Democrats an edge in a lot of these races. The one that I'm really interested in outside of Georgia, too, is what's going on in Texas. Mm-hmm. If you remember Ted Cruz, when he was running for president a couple of years ago, there were some words that was said by the current president about him and his family, and he vowed that he would not support him as a president if he were to become president, and we all know that's changed since then. So I'm just wondering, what are people's thoughts on that? How do they feel about a candidate that was attacked so harshly on a personal level? I mean, the man talked about his wife and everything, Right. And now he turns around after saying all the things he said in response to it. Now he's supporting the current president, and so we'll see what happens with that. I'm just curious as to what are the people of Texas thinking about all of this,
Sure.
So
Licking boot.
Before I say anything, Rashid's in the building too. Rashid, you got anything you want to add?
I predict a Republican sweep of the state of Georgia. We'll see how
Okay.
that goes.
I agree with you, Rashid. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing here is that if in any way, shape, or form, per se, the Democrats win, everybody will celebrate in the streets. Some people won't go to work tomorrow. They'll call in, and then everybody's going to go back to pinning their hopes on candidates and blaming everybody else for where they are.
It won't do a damn thing until the next election.
That's it. All right, so there we go. We wrapped that up. All right. So, any rate, if you want to comment, feel free. The number here is 470-251-4999. If you are, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Wrong paperwork. All right, so just disregard what I just said a second ago. If you want to, comment, or call in or text in, call 470-251-4343. Or you can, if you're checking us out on the Facebook feed, feel free to leave a message there. But either way, it's just kind of more of the same. I actually, I did vote for the governor, and then I voted for a couple other things, but I didn't really vote for most of it. If I didn't know who you were, I didn't just click incumbent and vote. So shoot me, But
then even the amendment stuff. I mean,
if I didn't know what it was,
one,
I didn't.
And then obviously the alcohol sales, but
right.
Yeah, that last one, the alcohol,
was pretty important.
That was important.
Yeah.
'Cause
If you've ever gone to brunch, I mean, do you know how agonizing that is? It's not 12:30 yet.
Or if you've tried to tailgate for a Falcons game and you forgot to get it the night before, and you knew, well, I got to get it at 12:30, but the game starts at 1. So
all right. Well, some of the gas stations, they don't actually pull the chains off till 12:45.
right.
So I'm just off the coolers or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I've done brunches. I've worked in a brunch environment, and it's, I, as a customer, find it annoying that you can't get that mimosa with your breakfast at 11 a.m., and I've seen customers also find that annoying, too. So, power to the people with regard to that one. All right, so moving forward, I wanted to, while we're on the politics thing, there are these two black girls. I think they're out of North Carolina, and some people follow them. They're called Diamond and Silk. Didn't y'all ever see Baps? You remember when Halle Berry was, who was the other girl? Well, the two girls, and they had the gold teeth and unbelievable and all that and this, that, and that. And so they've got these two girls that are really, really big Trump support. There we go. Woo, woo, woo. All right, and they are called Diamond and Silk. And so I definitely think that they live up to their name. and they're quite antagonistic of anti-Trump supporters. So if you haven't seen them before, I want to introduce you guys to Diamond and Silk. I want to play this clip here, and of course, you know. So take a look at these guys, and we'll talk about it when we come back here in the next minute or so, or 2 or 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
Social media stars and Donald Trump supporters, Diamond and Silk, joining us from Diamond and Silk World Headquarters. Ladies, what do you make of the fact that we've heard a lot of voices in the last 72 hours or so where people say, well, yeah, of course somebody has mailed these suspicious packages, and you can blame Donald Trump for his rhetoric?
Well, you have to understand this is how the left operate. What they do is they try to place blame instead of blaming themselves. You know, when they didn't want to accept the outcome of an election, when they got in the streets and they marched with those little wussy hats on instead of marching to the polls, when they took and disrespected this president, all of the things that they said, harassed Trump supporters, kicked them when they're low, bombed the White House. See, whatever you put out is going to come back to you.
That's right.
And see, you have to understand this is merely fear tactics being used to cause chaos and confusion. And I need for people to rise above it, go to the polls, vote red, and vote Republican.
But ladies, you know, the President of the United States has used tough rhetoric.
Hold on. Because they have been doing this to our president since before he even became president. When he threw his hat in the ring, not even a day later, they started calling him all of these derogatory names. 99.99% of the left-wing news is negative towards this president and towards this country. And our president only hit you back 2 times whenever you hit him back the first time.
That's right.
The counterpuncher.
So, ladies,
That's
what's
right.
the solution to this? Because we've seen this political season, and I don't know if it's because I've never witnessed anything like this, but what's the solution to this? Because if you disagree with the right, the left hates the right hates the left. What do we do as a country?
Well, see, we're going to have to stop hating each other.
That's right.
We're going to have to accept the fact that President Trump is your president.
Yes.
He is the president of the United States, is what we're going to have to accept.
That's
Once
right.
they can accept that, then we can move our country forward.
That's right.
The left is going to have to stop with this foolishness, chaos, confusion, fear. You
Yes.
put it in the minds of the American people. If you are really for the American people, if the left-wing media really cared about the American people, you would not cause chaos and confusion when it comes to news reporting.
That's right.
And yeah, a lot of people are seeing this during the Washington Post today. A lot of Democrats getting a little panicky because this reminds them a lot of 2016 because they expected so much and got so little.
Listen,
Exactly.
and the president is winning. They only smear who they fear.
That's right.
He is winning. He's up in the polls. Democrats are voting in these midterm elections Republican. They switched their party to Republican.
That's right.
So listen, we're winning, you all, and they don't like that. So what they do is they manufacture stuff to
Yep.
create chaos, to distract, deflect. No, I need for you to pay attention.
Pay attention.
Go to the polls, vote red, vote Republican.
That's right. And don't let what's happening at the border to deflect you and distract you. What's happening at the border is manufactured. There's no way that 7,000 people going to get on the phone and say, hey, I'm going to march to the border. That's not happening. How are these people using the bathroom? How are these people getting food as they're marching to this particular border? How is it that we're able to send troops over to other countries to protect those other country borders, but people have a...
All right. And if we got a automated round of applause, let's give Diamond and Silk a round of applause. Excellent performance. Excellent. They sure did. Not surprising. I guess the only issue I'd have if I was President Trump or the Republicans, considering how they pride themselves with dignity and articulation, I don't know if I want Diamond and Silk speaking on behalf of me. But you know, it was niggas that fought with the South in the Civil War too. So it doesn't. None of this stuff surprises me. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin what to say about that. You know, but I mean, at the end of the day, we end up just looking bad. Go ahead, Slick.
You know, I don't really say, because I'm not very, in depth when it comes to politics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much keep myself to myself, but I know people, and those are some good damn actors. They were actually they were women that actually knew something about politics, and then they just combined it with the social media thing, and they just turned into social media whores.
I don't know. Part of me believes they actually believe some of that
They
stuff.
probably do, but I'm telling you, how they got on. How you think they got on the news? It's probably 100 other black women and black people that support Trump, but they not popping for no clout.
I wish that we didn't have political parties to begin with, and that people would just vote without even thinking about that. Because even like you said on the ballot, which is why I skipped a lot of that stuff too. It's because I'm not just going to vote Democrat because I voted for a Democratic governor and I voted for a Democratic candidate for president, especially when I don't know anything that I'm voting for. So I just wish that they would get rid of that, because then at that point, then you really are going to listen to what it is, as opposed to, well, I voted for them, so that means that the rest of my bill needs to be someone else, as opposed to if you even really care about it. Because some of it, like I said, a lot of this stuff, nothing's going to change.
Nothing.
Anyways, your life's going to be the same for the most part.
Well, I mean, I don't even have a problem with them supporting Trump if that's what they want to do. But what they really weren't making valid arguments. What I'm saying is that they weren't talking about it.
Let me tell you what that was about right there. That was about DNA. That was about dick and attention.
Okay.
That was about dick and attention, and they saw that as an opportunity to get some attention and a platform. And we see this constantly every day on social media.
Yeah.
We see this on Instagram.
Like
we see this on Instagram every day, where it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative attention. No offense, ladies, but they will get it, and men too. They seek it out.
Right.
Okay. And the Republicans, they love it.
They love it.
They love it.
Because they win both
and
ways.
I'm independent.
Yeah.
I'm not a Republican or a Democrat.
I don't identify with any type of label.
I looked at both of Georgia's candidates. And what I asked myself as a black man is, what policies and ideals do both of them have that benefit me as a black man?
None.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody might say that, oh, wait, he's a Republican, and she's a fucking feminist. In my book. All right? What policies does she have that are going to benefit me? What policies does he have that are going to benefit me? And that's how I voted. But that right there is garbage. And let me tell you what white people think and how they think. They look at that, and that is a representation of the majority of black women out here. That's what that is to them.
So that actually amplified and helped
exactly.
Them
if we can put this in front of television, this perception of black woman, who we think is the majority of black women out here, and let them speak to why they are Trump supporters, that may actually bring other black women over to this side. It doesn't hurt anything. 95% of black women voted for Hillary Clinton in the last election. So what does having these two women on TV, who we think are representative of the majority of black women, vouch for Trump?
It's a win-win. I mean, they were able to galvanize some support, and they still made us look bad. So I mean, that's a great job. I mean, you can't be upset with them for it. So they got the support, and we just still are just an awful representation of ourselves. All right. So with that being said, we started talking about attention. Did you want to say anything about any? I mean, you are a black woman, so.
I'm not going to take two people's opinion as a representation. I'm not taking ownership of. I'm going to be frank with you. I didn't think, first of all, I thought they looked put together for from wherever they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they weren't, like, disheveled. They had a bit of a choir preacher thing going on. I mean, Okay, but outside of we're red, I have to agree with Pierce. I don't know what is going on tonight, but I have to agree with Pierce. If we didn't have such division between, because really there is no division. Everybody really works together. So maybe people would listen to it if it wasn't so divided. Maybe people would listen to everybody. Outside of vote red, red, I think they had some pretty good. I didn't really disagree with any of their points. I mean, this is their opinion. If they had a fro on talking about vote for Stacey Abrams, they wouldn't have made it on Fox News. True enough. And these people pull out different people. They select who, so we know who Fox is going to. I'm not going to take that personal. I'm not going to take ownership.
They said that Trump was the victim. That Trump had been victimized.
I mean, okay, so what they believe in is a principle. They believe in the principle of the United States office or the office of the United States, and this is the representative. They buy into that. That is what if they didn't, they would not be on Fox.
Okay, EC, let me ask you this. Do you think those two women on that screen right there were representative of you as a black woman?
I mean, I can't take, no, I don't think that I can only represent me.
Exactly. Okay, but we're talking in generalizations now. We're talking about broad generalizations.
So, okay, right. So when you said that they represent, I think what people see on VH1 is what they think. And so these women were not really VH1. They were not reality television as far as what we really see. Now, their look may be influenced by that, but frankly, they were well-spoken. To be honest with you, and they were
you're well spoken.
No, they got their points across.
EC.
You know what they said? They said, "Don't think,
the
vote
best
red.
trash
Don't think about it. Yeah,
I mean,
just vote red."
I wouldn't call these women trash.
Right.
I'm not going to call these women names. They have a right to their own opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, but see
Absolutely.
the right to their opinion isn't the argument. The right, what we're discussing now is why. Let's look deeper than this. Why were these women put on Fox News as representative of black women in America? Let's ask that question.
Why do they use Herman Cain?
Yeah, good point.
Or what's the other guy who's a Supreme Court justice?
Clarence Thomas, but he don't really
Clarence
talk.
Thomas.
But who's the guy on CNN? Paris? What's his name? Paris Denard? Oh God, I can't. Anyway, I want to get to the meat and potatoes.
She's like, I don't watch CNN.
Yeah, I used to, so I don't even know if he's still on. Rashid, you want to say something before I move forward?
I mean, it's pretty clear that they're on there because they represent outlying representations of opinions of black women. That went 95% for Democrats. Just like when I see these Stacey Abrams commercials and I see these real good old boys on there talking about, I love me some Stacey Abrams. It's the same thing. It's the same visceral impact. It's a pretty basic political tactic, actually.
And the reason why you see that is because they know that we're going to vote for Democrats. They expect for us to vote for the Democratic Party.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, that's we just, that's all we know.
But the thing about it, in a sense, I'm almost offended by it because it's almost like they play the general public stupid, and some of them are. What kills me every time I see this one guy, and it's the same guy, everybody knows who he is. He's the one that's out there in the Trump rallies, no matter what state it's in, the same guy is there holding up a sign saying blacks for Trump. And I'm like, but you're the only black out there, and you're the only black that I ever see out there holding up that same sign. So how is that supposed to sway someone? Or someone that's not of African-American descent, how is that going to make them believe that there's really black people out there supporting Trump in large numbers? This is the same guy, so.
Well, I mean,
there are a lot of blacks that support Trump.
I know there's actually a much larger number that voted for him than what I thought ever would. But I'm just saying the majority.
And it's more who have even come over who were on the other side after the election. It's a whole lot. I mean, I myself am indifferent.
Why do you think that's the case?
I know exactly why it's the case. I know why it's the case.
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, if we're talking about economics, that started under the Obama administration, and you're feeling the ripple effect of it now. But listen, man, I don't care. You know, and that's the honest to God truth.
Where does it,
You know,
where does it really affect you?
But what I'll say is that what we got to look at here, and this is why we did the show last week, and I definitely want to get into this other thing. It's kind of like what we talk about rap music and the media and all that. So while you brought up VH1 and whatnot, is that there are a lot of people who don't think. And so we have to be careful with information. There's a thinking population of the public, and I think that for the most part, I'd like to believe that a lot of us represent that portion of the population. But there is also a portion of the population that doesn't, and that's why you have people mailing bombs to people and stuff like that, and people shooting up churches and whatnot. And I just don't think that people are careful with the information that they disseminate, and a lot of it is for purposes of personal gains, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the people.
So you think black people that support that went from Obama to Trump aren't thinking?
I can't speak up for me.
You think that black people? The question was, why do you think these black folks went over to Trump? And you said that a lot of people just aren't thinking. I'm just trying to make sure that your answer to the question is your answer to the question that these black people just aren't thinking, or what?
I think that people are, some of them aren't thinking, especially if we start talking about, I guess they wouldn't represent the people who went over. I was about to say the religious aspect of it, who believe that Trump stands for godly principles. For the transition's sake, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at me, somebody who's gone from anti-Trump to indifferent, I just realized that it just really doesn't matter. So it could be apathy. I don't know. I'm just...
I think it takes more than apathy.
I don't know.
I mean, if they became indifferent like you, that would be apathy. But for them to go from Obama to Trump feels like more than apathy.
I don't know. What do you think? You think it's economics?
Well, we see this. This is a trend. Well, we see about every 8 years a switch in political affiliation. All right? So Bush was a Republican, and he developed a reputation of being such a bad president that people were like, hey, you know what? Let's get a Negro a chance. All right? Let's give the Democratic Negro a chance. And let's be honest, Obama came in under a perfect storm. There was a
very thin resume.
Say what?
With a very thin resume.
Okay.
I disagree with you.
That anyone has ever been elected president.
Yeah, he had that is another conversation. He had the quintessential of education, that but that's another conversation. We actually had
it. He didn't have a thin resume, but
he had no resume. He was not even so much as a community activist, president of the PTA.
Exactly.
He was a billionaire that has business interests all over the world.
Business is different from public service.
I'm not trying to say Trump was a great candidate. I'm just saying that Obama had the thinnest resume of anyone who's ever been elected president. I would be very interested.
And he won in a landslide in both elections too.
Yeah,
I mean, for the record.
Keep in mind, he was a senator at the time.
Yeah, a senator who decided to run for president 1 year into his first term. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're gonna have to keep. I just want to save some of this meat here. Sorry guys, we're gonna pick this back up. I promise. So I went to Chipotle the other day, and I couldn't help but notice we started talking about what did you call it? DNA?
DNA. Dick and attention.
That's deep. I had never heard that before.
Dick and attention.
And I noticed this. There's this wave of, and I'm gonna tell you something.
You didn't put enough in here, man.
All right, well, we'll get some more, man.
I'm not getting it.
And I mean, spandex pants have single-handedly saved a lot. I shudder to think of how many power bills, car notes, and rents have been paid. Certainly, drinks at the bar. I've seen it myself. As a bartender. That if when all else fails, spandex pants.
But I mean, that's not really the reason at the end of the day.
Well, I mean,
and
it's a
she
whole
said,
lot of
she
people
said, well, she said it earlier, anyways.
Oh.
At the end of the day, most dudes are just gonna buy, especially at a bar. If you think a chick's attractive, she could be dressed like a nun, and you're gonna buy her a drink if you want to talk to her. Like, you know what I mean?
Lame
Let's
dude.
go to chairs and see how many spandex pants we see tonight.
Let's go to where?
One-ish.
You're right. Okay, I stand corrected.
We go to the
All
place
right.
next door. We go to Pyramid Lounge.
Let's see how many. All right, Shay, did you want to say something? You looked eager over there.
I was just gonna say, I feel like spandex has nothing to do with, like, if a man finds you attractive, he's gonna find you attractive. Period.
Well, but
Right,
there are a
and
lot
they
of
can-
women who aren't attractive that with the invention of spandex pants.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Because a man can be drawn to a woman not because of her face, but because of her butt. Let's be honest.
Right.
So it doesn't take spandex just to see that. If she has a figure, you know, because there are a lot of men that will pursue a woman just to, you know, sleep with her, and it's not because, oh, they think her face is pretty. They be like, oh, she has a big butt.
Well,
So
yeah, but see, spandex pants.
Well,
Make a
I
lot
see
of-
what you're saying. You're saying in a sense of it enhances it. You know what I mean? If that
What
makes
was
any
the term
sense.
you used? That
'Cause-
they're forgiving? Is that what you said?
This is the deal. Guys that put a lot of stock in the spandex pants or find them attractive are thirsty dudes. There are a lot of thirsty dudes, and I hate to say this, there are a lot of thirsty dudes in Black America. Black America has the thirstiest dudes of all dudes out here. Now, I will say this. When you go to certain environments, Black America has so many different classes, all right? When you go to certain environments, you don't see, where I go, and where I spend my dime and my time, I don't see women in there with spandex pants. If I do, I'm walking up out of there.
What about the gas station, the grocery store?
Yeah, let me tell you, I
what
walk
about-
past those women like bus stops.
What about Home Depot?
I'm not trying to holler at no woman at Home Depot.
I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose though.
Well,
Like,
let me tell you what it is. Spandex pants, just like skinny jeans, are very forgiving. Okay, women can put those on, and even if she has cellulite on the back of those thighs, and she not all that, her figure isn't all of that. She can put those on, and it tightens all of that up. And we as men, guess what? We're not sitting up here judging like, oh yeah, you know, I couldn't get her, I can't marry her. No, we just look and keep it moving. It's just like when you see a Instagram model on here with 10,000, 12,000 likes. She got 26-inch weave, her booty's fake, her breast fake, everything on her is fake, but she got 10,000 likes. Now, I'm not gonna date her. I'm not gonna get close to her. But you got a lot of thirsty ass dudes out here that will.
you can't even be my friend on Instagram if you're a female. You got over 1,000 followers.
Dude, when I see a woman, if I meet a woman and I go on her page, I look at her first 9 posts. First of all, over 5 of them are selfies, she's doing this all the freaking time. Done. We're done.
Hated it.
Done. And if I see pictures where she got 300, 400 likes, done. You know what turns me on? When a woman who is naturally beautiful can post something online and she don't have but 30 or 40 likes on it. And then on top of that, guess what? She posting some pictures of some food she done cooked.
So look, I'm gonna tell you.
That's
I'm gonna tell you something real.
Stuff that you look for as a man.
Some of
Not
the
400 likes.
some of the realest people on Instagram, like, and you know people, like, you know how it go. Some of these people that you follow, I really only follow people I know, and I'm trying to learn this whole social media thing because I'm learning that it's a tool that can be manipulated for, you know what I'm saying? And so I learned that the more, like you said, the more likes and follows that a person gets, the more, I'm not going to say all the time, but it's more probable that they're not actually a real person to me.
But the thing about it is they get a false sense of their value, their sexual market value. Think about it. Before social media, a woman had to go out in public, in the public square,
With them spandex
with her natural self and get attention. Now she can post a picture on social media and get 400, 500, 1,000 likes depending on who she is.
And you probably wouldn't even know who she was if you saw her in person.
Exactly.
To be quite honest with you.
Exactly. Most of these women that you see, man, you take the makeup off, you take the eyelashes off, you take the
not
fake
real.
nails off, and you won't even notice them.
But let's just let's look at how many of those pictures you see spandex pants in those pictures. I'm just saying, I see it so much. I go to, I'm like, golly, spandex pants have bailed a lot of people out. They really have. And you think about it, they're relatively inexpensive. Well, EC, what do you pay for a spare? I know you're not a big spandex pants wearer, but I'm just curious. And you haven't said anything. So what are you thinking about all this spandex pants?
I mean, I like.
Do you?
I do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Spandex pants.
I think they're actually underdressed. But whatever. So they have a purpose. But I'm just saying, I like this gentleman. I don't see what the big deal is if that's not, like, is that your kryptonite?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
No.
mean,
I would never.
What he's talking
about.
what he's talking about is the overabundance and the class of women that you usually see wearing those pants. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Now, if you a yogi, I do yoga. If you're into yoga and you wearing those pants to yoga, it's clear. Yes, exactly. It's you know the difference between a woman who's working out. She's her health is important to her. She's probably coming from the gym. She may be going to yoga class or whatever. Versus a woman who's wearing that just in Publix or to the club or to get drinks at Luxor. Come on now, let's just be honest. Let's cut the bullshit.
What I think it is also too is that the media has its influence.
It's not the media because we see it.
No, because it's in videos, it's in music videos. If it wasn't acceptable, people would not do it.
If it wasn't forgiving.
If they didn't get attention from it, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't do it. You're trying to accomplish a certain look. You understand what I'm saying? So
Back to what we were talking about
if it's
earlier.
not acceptable, then you wouldn't do it.
DNA. If we would stop liking them freaking pictures, stop liking them. Stop liking them. Stop liking them. Let me tell you something. A woman who gets 10,000 likes today, let her get 90 tomorrow. She'll jump off a bridge. Okay? She will jump off a bridge. But let me tell you something. It's too many thirsty ass dudes out here that will sit here and like that. That will sit here and like that. That's why they do it.
But there was a time where spandex pants were only for workout.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we were younger, people that was
In the 80s, that's what
that
they were
was
invented.
not exactly like they were invented by a biker.
Shay, what do you think?
I was just gonna say I don't see why women's clothing are being politicized. Like if a woman wears something, I see a lot of men think that women do the things they do for men. Women live for themselves. Like not every woman out here wearing certain things. There are some women that wear certain things to get attention, but just because she's wearing this doesn't mean she's automatically trying to get attention. Like men assume like, oh, she's looking that way because she wants me to see her. We gotta, as a woman, when you wear spandex leggings, whatever you want to call them, they are quite comfortable. That's why a lot of women do wear them. They're kind of like a go-to. Say you're in a rush, I'm trying to go to Walmart, I might put that on because it's something quick. So I feel that it's kind of weird to just be seeing this politicized. Like this is
Right,
something
it's really not a big deal to begin with.
Well,
The real issue that comes into it at the end of the day is social media as a whole. It's not even them wearing it on social media. It's social media itself.
Really?
A lot of people are, and I know for a fact, at least for me, I would imagine I probably had a social media longer than most people in here. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. But like, I don't think that, I don't, this guy Rashid, man. But I don't think that them wearing it's an issue. Like, I think that the issue is social media itself. It's digital shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just digitalized shit that's out there. It's just like anything else. People talk about they can be cyberbullied, and it's just like, how? You just turn that shit off. Like, don't even look. Like, you know what I mean? Like just don't even, especially if it's an issue, like, don't even look at it. I just, I don't even get caught up in it. It's just, to me, it's a platform to see the people and what they're doing.
But see,
and then
I'ma
you'll see
say
other
this,
shit if you
I'ma
like
say
other
this,
shit.
I'ma
But
say
like,
this. Shay, you're different, obviously, because you're on this show. So that definitely is evident that you're different. But when I go to Home Depot, and I go to Home Depot regularly, when I go to Home Depot and I see a woman in there with spandex pants on, no running shoes, but some Jordans. And it's just like, and she's just walking up and down the aisles with nothing in her hand, nothing in her buggy. The third time I seen her, she might have one light bulb in there. So it's like, really, what are you doing here?
She's on
She's
the
right
prowl.
to be indecisive at Home Depot.
Yeah,
Really?
I get what you're saying.
I get your point.
Men are going to be at Home
I
Depot.
think your point. I think your point is that, well, number one, while all women may not necessarily wear spandex to get attention, spandex attracts attention, right? It just does.
Well, it bails you out.
It
It bails you out financially, and like you said, if everything's all over the place, it'll hold it together. I think that there's probably a large population of women who probably say, "Damn, I'm in a pinch. I'm in a bind. What am I? Got the
So,
spandex right
so
there."
you're
Spandex bails a
saying
lot of women
they're
out.
doing it for
Yeah.
real currency, not digital currency.
Both.
Because the digital currency is the likes that he was talking about.
This is the deal,
But
is that we as men are giving that shit attention. Okay?
Well, how do we fix that problem?
She just said something
I mean, women-
that is.
women
She,
give
let me tell you
attention
something.
too.
She just said something that a lot of women feel that is comfortable.
They doing
It's see, no, we wouldn't even be talking about spandex pants if the right women were wearing it. Okay? If the shapely woman with the nice thighs and the nice hips and the cute feet, if she was wearing it, we wouldn't be saying that. But I'm sick of seeing the beluga whales wearing it.
Oh boy.
Okay?
And big women gotta feel pretty too.
Yeah, but
Oh
see,
sure.
but see, nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
If they would
But
think
see,
that
this
it
is what we got to
is.
start.
It's
not what you wear, it's why you
goes back to
No, this is what we got to start doing. This is what we got to start doing as men. Okay, look. If that's comfortable for you and you look nasty and it looks like oil spill on aisle 9, come clean this up. Okay, guess what? Me keeping my wallet in my pocket feels comfortable. Me not spending my money feels comfortable. Me walking away from you feels comfortable. Me not trying to be the man that you want long term feels real good. That's how we vote as men. Until we start doing that, nothing is going to change.
I got some kind of problem with like women being reduced
Nothing
down
is going
to
to change.
Their,
we got to get on the same
What do you
page,
say,
man.
Rashid?
I mean, I do have some kind of problem with women being like reduced down to their shape and their clothes. I mean, I got to tell you, I've known some brothers in my life, and I've seen their lady, and I've been like, upon first viewing, brother, you could do a lot better than that. But upon getting to know them, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that if we see women that don't necessarily or that are not as shapely or whatever, I mean, they got the right to dress however they want to dress. We have the right to be repulsed or to not be interested. But I feel there's a little bit of judgment coming out of here, and I don't know that that's necessarily
Well, how would you
maybe I'm not hearing the right
Let's
thing.
take
Maybe it's
now.
all
I
right.
went to.
Not any judgment. I don't give a damn. I don't care who. I don't care who wears the spandex.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you doing they wearing spandex for the wrong
If
reason.
your mama came to the school to check you out, would you feel differently?
Well, you know,
Man, you're talking about
my 2
grown
cents
ass
on
women.
it.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
You guys are talking about social media and spandex, but it doesn't matter what realm it's in. It could be not on social media. It could be in real life. It could be tight jeans instead of spandex. It could be a low button shirt, you know, or whatever. Because me and a lot of my boys, we talk about this subject a lot, and I kind of agree with you. A lot of stuff that women do for attention, they wouldn't do if thirsty dudes wouldn't give them the attention in the first place. They're going to keep doing it just like marketing and advertising. They do certain things because it works.
That's true.
Women are going to continue to dress, however, if they want attention, because they know it's going to work. It may not work with the population, with the certain population of the guys out there, but there's always going to be the ones that's going to respond.
Sex sells.
So yeah,
man.
I mean, look, men are gonna be men, and not all men have the same standards. So there's some, men that like bigger women that other men might think are not necessarily attractive. So they're gonna encourage the kind of behavior.
This really is but see, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. This breaks down class lines. Okay, this breaks down class lines. again, like I said, the environments that I go to, I'm not going to just see women walking around in spandex pants. And honestly, if I did, I wouldn't mind, because the type of environments that I go to attract the type of women that I want to see.
Take me with you.
In spandex, yeah, you go. Okay. In spandex pants. The problem is in Black America is that we are so divided. There's so many different classes in Black America. You can go to Cascade, you can go to Stonecrest, and you have second chance apartments where people damn near can't even get into a home, and right around the corner from there, you have $500,000 homes. It's done like that by design, because there are so many different classes of Black people. People don't want to be around us. You develop the type of homes that various classes of Black people can live in or want to live in, and you put them right there together. You don't go out to Alpharetta and see that. You don't go out to Smyrna and see that. You don't go out to Sandy Springs and see second chance apartments and $1 million homes down the street. You don't see that, okay? So let's just be honest. This breaks down class lines. There are certain guys, and I hate to say this, they're probably blue-collar guys that will find those overweight women in spandex pants walking around like Who Shot John attractive. I'm thinking the guys on this panel, me, I know you, probably you, all of us, are not going to find that attractive. The issue is that there's so many people or Black people in lower class that it continues to fund that type of behavior. So yes, those women that we just saw, and a lot of women out here can continue to wear those type of pants or whatever and dress how they want to dress, and there's a plethora of men out there that they're going to get attention from. They don't get it from me.
Yeah.
They don't get it from me.
But that's because let's keep it 100 too. But a lot of these chicks just want some money, and like
that. Hence why
at the end of the day, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. They want money, and then the chicks, like you said, the ones that look like Who Shot John. Of course, that guy that has the blue collar job wants it, because he has no chance with the chick because he doesn't have any money.
Well,
so
he just doesn't believe he has.
No, I'm saying he doesn't. No, I'm saying he could, but like I'm saying, he doesn't have a chance with the IG model with the 10K likes. So why not? He got to get his nut off too, and he don't want to beat it every night. Like, you know what I mean? So like I can understand why my man's gonna hit it, because he was gonna hit it regardless of them pants. So, but he feeds into the idea of these pants are what's doing it for me, as opposed to I'm attractive. Or
it's not really what's doing it for him, is the fact that he can't do better. And if that brother could do better, trust me, he will do better.
If he knew better, he'd do better.
Right.
All right, Shay, you want to maybe start a final thought thing, and then we wrap it up. Big O, you ain't got nothing to say, huh? Cool. Good. Well, I mean, and he works in an environment where he sees quite.
I guess I'll end it by saying that women are gonna, as we have y'all have discussed, are gonna do what they want to do, and not every woman out here is looking for male attention, because not every woman is straight anyway. So we have to consider men automatically assume every woman out here wants a man. And how,
But even unstraight women, they'll take the male money to pay the bills.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying you have to think from different aspects, because you could find me attractive, but that doesn't mean I find you attractive.
True.
So at the end of the day, women are people too. They're going to wear what they want to wear, do what they want to do, and that's that.
Big Sly, you got something to say?
I just want to say that social media is evil, and I hate it.
Amen.
We are broadcasting live on social media, so we don't want the guests to do not be discouraged about
what social media
watching
does to society. I hate it.
Brethren,
where's the watch party tonight?
I really want to go to Chairs, to be honest with you.
It has to be noted that our second week on the air ever was when we went to Pearl and had watched the campaign returns for Trump getting elected.
That's right.
That was a major bonding experience.
How far is that
for us? I'm fine with Pearl as well.
I'm not suggesting, but I'm just saying that this is more about the fact that on our second show, like, Trump got elected and we were all.
Okay, before I bring it in this way, I wish you want to go last. What do you think? Go ahead, Issa. Oh, sure. Okay, go ahead, Issa. Good to have you back too.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to the #1 comprehensive barbershop talk show. Sponsored tonight by
Luxor Lounge.
Luxor
Lithonia,
Lounge
Georgia.
in Lithonia, Georgia. And I just want to say, I'm not even going to address the whole spandex. I'm going to say, do what you love to do until you are satisfied. Be true to yourself and who you really are, and hang around people who add value to your life.
Right. And for the record, you're in no position to talk about anybody wearing spandex pants today. You know, so. All right.
Well, to kind of close out the conversation we were having, I think that people doing certain things like the spandex pants, for example, if it works for them, they're going to keep doing it. It is good to have this type of dialogue just to hear other people's thoughts on it. But, hey, if rent is due, you know, baby need milk, baby daddy ain't in the picture, whatever the case may be, then they're going to use spandex. They're going to use whatever other device they can use to get that attention, to get those bills paid, or, you know, to get their hair, nails did, whatever the case may be. So
very good point,
you know.
KP. Thank you very much, DJ KP. Pete, what you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, just don't be a sucker to it. You know, at the end of the day, everybody has the right to do what they want to do. Don't let the social media control you. You control the social media.
All right, our special guest, Brother Langston, who has had quite a bit to say. Go ahead.
Some good stuff, man. No, it's a lot of what we see going on right now has really less to do with political agenda and more to do with the gender divide in this country. What we saw in the last election between Hillary and Trump, we saw a feminist versus masculinity. That's what we saw. We saw a feminist versus masculinity. In this election here in Georgia, a lot of people, depending on how you look at this the same way. What I want black people to do, black men in particular, is to get out of this whole notion of you have to vote Democrat and ask yourself, what have the Democrats actually done for you? What have they done for you? Right? Ask yourself, what have they done for you? And make up your own mind. I'm an independent. All right? I look at candidates and I decide, okay, I base my vote off of what that candidate is going to do for me as a black man. As far as this whole spandex issue, like I said, that breaks down class lines. There are women who can wear spandex. There are women who can't wear spandex. It's up to you if you decide you want to give that particular woman some attention. Me, I'm not going to give her too much attention. If she don't look all that good, if she's hot, she might get a little attention from me. But other than that, that's all I got to say.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming out. All right, listen. All right, before we get ready to shut it down, one quick thing. Thursday, come on out to Luxor Lounge. Hang out with me. We got wing specials, beer, shot specials, all types of specials. And I'll put a post up on social media where you can check it out. Big game, the Carolina Panthers against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's going to be a good
That
one.
should be a really, actually, that's going to be the best Thursday night game so far this year.
Is the
At
Luxor
Steelers.
Lounge shaped like a pyramid?
Huh?
Is the Luxor Lounge shaped like a pyramid?
No. Right. It's
Yeah,
just
I was
kind of a little hut in
Just one.
Lithonia. So if you're in the Lithonia, Decatur area, or wherever, feel free to come out.
Right,
Now,
the Blue Man show's not gonna be there, right?
I'll give a final thought. Make sure you do this, too, right when we finish up. I have a very talented artist here in the building who is a brother of mine, good friend of mine. I'm happy to have him down here supporting us. Big O, you're going to hear him as we close out. But I want to say this in closing. I talked to a girl who got into an argument with a guy. And this is maybe TMI, and I hope she's not watching, but I'm not going to say her name. She bought borrowed a $10 bag of weed, okay? And then got upset with the guy because the guy was hounding her about the $10 bag of weed. Well, if somebody is selling $10 worth of weed, that means they really need $10. So you can't chump them off and say, well, damn, it's just $10. No, the issue is that if you're buying $10 and they selling $10, that's what they need. Everybody needs to update standards. That's what this whole thing was about. Y'all have a good evening. The McRib sandwich is back for y'all niggas out there who missed it. And DJ, let me get that. Excuse me, Magic Mike. Let me get that song, man. Let's get on out of here. We'll see you next week, Beer in a Conversation.
Mama from Bed-Stuy, that's do or die like B.I. But she raised me like Shakur. Young and thuggin' like it's nothing. Thug life, like Mr. Shakur. Picture me rolling. Black Beamer don't kill me, like Mr. Shakur. Don't know where I'm headed, but I get around. Like Mr. Shakur, a real N-I-G-G-A from round the way. I'd rather be real ignorant than real fake. Hail Mary, I go deep like a play. And I know Brenda's baby grown, but we still need change. No, I ain't shed so many tears, but it's been rough throughout the years. Dear mamas, unconditional love got me here. I couldn't live and die in SC, so I moved to GA, like right up the street. I'm in the streets, America's most wanted. 1 year, I went to jail 3, but life goes on. You gotta keep your head up, just move on, and never ever let up. I'm fed up, cause after graduate, time sped up. And I took a few L's like dead up, but it's a mustard, not a mayo. It's gonna catch up. I got my legs up, smoking California love, got my head up in the clouds. Then me and Mr. Shakur headbutt. Mama from Bed-Stuy, that's do or die like B.I. But she raised me like Shakur. Young and thuggin' like it's nothing. Thug life, like Mr. Shakur. Picture me rolling. Black Beamer don't kill me, like Mr. Shakur. Don't know where I'm headed, but I get around. Like Mr. Shakur. All eyes on me, like it's me against the world, and I can't breathe. R.I.P. Man, it's still fuck the police like I'm Ice Cube while y'all sip iced tea. But I'ma make it my business, cause how long will they mourn me? And I ain't mad at you. This is my ambition as a rider. You think it's all about you? Well, you's a liar. I see death around the corner, so I'm getting higher. Sipping on Drew juice, it's kinda like Thug Passion. Henny, Red Bull, mix, see what happened. I'm just trying to get my mind right, cause I'm all up in your face and you still can't see me. Oh, you blind, right? I don't want the limelight, I just want my limelight. And for motherfuckers to treat my kind right, cause shawty don't wanna be a thug, but I don't mind fight. Heaven ain't that hard to find, right? I'm from Bed-Stuy, that's do or die like B.I. But she raised me like Shakur. Young and thuggin' like it's nothing. Thug life, like Mr. Shakur. Picture me rolling. Black Beamer don't kill me, like Mr. Shakur. Don't know where I'm headed, but I get around. Like Mr. Shakur. It's Swaggavelli in this. And it's still a Illuminati with a flow like a 12-gauge shot. Anytime you want to see me again, rewind this back, close your eyes and smoke a blunt. And, just let this ride on out. Swag.